Special report. You're caught on the tracks while the train is barreling toward you. It's a situation you don't want to be in, but it's happened again and again here in Illinois.
Exactly where and why is this happening? Marianne Ahern now joins us with the Unit 5 investigation. Marianne?
Warner and Allison, Chicago is one of the busiest cities in the country when it comes to sharing its roadways with railroad crossings. And too often, drivers are caught on the tracks. One intersection is especially dangerous. Look closely at this home video. A semi-truck crosses these railroad tracks in Villa Park before the warning gates go down. But the trailer never clears. The result, an 8-car pileup 5 years ago that sent 5 people to the hospital.
Well, the gate was coming down and the horn was blowing, and I said, oh my God.
But what happened at this crossing in Elmwood Park last November happens far too often.
All of a sudden, the train went here like boom!
A Metro Express train traveling at close to 70 miles per hour slams into 5 vehicles, stopped on the tracks on Grand Avenue at rush hour, causing a chain reaction. 16 people injured, including a woman pulled from this burning vehicle. This time, no deaths.
We don't know exactly what happened, other than we know cars were in a place they shouldn't have been.
But vehicles caught on the tracks appear to be common here. These records from the Department of Transportation show 28 accidents in 29 years, including multiple injuries and 2 deaths. Nearly all the accidents caused by drivers stopped on the tracks.
In 17 years, I've never seen a crossing in an urban area as bad as this one. This is number one.
Rail safety advocate Bob COMER investigates railroad accidents for law firms nationwide. He says often the first reaction is to blame the driver, but says the accident history here indicates much more than driver error.
Very seldom do you ever see a crossing that is this long and with this much space for vehicles to get trapped. And then
COMER says drivers have to look too far ahead to determine if they can clear the tracks, that adjacent crossings cause traffic to get backed up onto the tracks at Grand Avenue. All of this during rush hour, COMER says, is a recipe for disaster.
I'm not sure that you can say that the driver is going to be always at fault here.
IDOT Traffic Bureau Chief Steve Travia stopped short of blaming motorists, but says they need to take extra precautions here.
The roadway and the tracks cross at a very severe angle, and that angle creates a very long area that the motorist has to traverse to get across the crossing.
Travia says the state, Elmwood Park, and Metro have worked in concert to make changes here, including slowing trains down, better warning signage, re-optimizing traffic signals to ease the flow of traffic, and new striping. Despite all those changes, drivers are still often caught right there on the tracks with nowhere to go. On 5 random days over the past few weeks, our cameras catch drivers caught beyond the warning gates time and time again. Vehicles are caught sitting at the edge of the tracks as trains pass by. And traffic backups cause drivers to stop directly on the tracks, waiting for congestion to free up space.
Too much traffic, too much rail traffic, and, a street-level crossing, the potential for a problem is there.
Elmwood Park President Peter Silvestri says freight trains are of major concern, that the majority of freight that comes through urban areas do so unnecessarily, causing major traffic. That drivers should use more caution, and he offers a solution, saying that an underpass is the only true fix to this problem.
The only foolproof, safe way is to separate the vehicles from the trains.
Just last week, the governor signed a bill that would allow cameras to be placed at railroad crossings. Drivers then who had caught on the tracks would be subject to large fines. However, safety expert COMER says if those improvements aren't made in Elmwood Park, what they're going to catch with those cameras, more people getting caught.
Because obviously people are stuck on the tracks. Yeah. What is the cost of doing something like building an underpass at that intersection?
The estimates right now, $30 million, and that's the bottom line. And who's going?
One underpass?
One underpass, and then who would pay? Because obviously not just Elmwood Park, the suburbs surrounding, and that's a big cost.
Sure.
Right.